Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Legends Rewritten has gotten a massive update this last weekend, and you guys can already see on screen what's been added, an entire new open world, and this is an area that's only accessible if you're over level 80. So in this area there's a bunch of new islands, a bunch of new seasonal bosses, mobs, minerals to mine, armor, and all of that good stuff. But another major change is the level cap has been increased all the way to 150. Meaning each individual stat you can get all the way up to 150 now, so there is a lot more grinding to do in the game if you haven't played for a while. So what I want to do in this video is talk about the new bosses, some of the new gear, and just kind of give a brief overview over everything. Later this week there'll be a more in-depth guide on how to beat the bosses and individual drops from which boss. So what I want to do for the start of this video is show off some of the noteworthy gear that has been added to the game. Big thanks to Mocha for letting me borrow this for this video. So I can't put all of it on because it is level 150, but some of the noteworthy things is the Rotten Knight leg plates and the Rotten Knight helmet and the Rotten Knight chest piece. I just do not have it to show off, but the Rotten Knight gear set is basically a better version of the Starforge gear set. As you guys can see, a ton of health with very solid mana. So the Rotten Knight is a boss that's very unique to this game because the Rotten Knight is a boss you can actually summon versus having to wait for a season to spawn in or go into a raid or something like that. The way you summon the said Rotten Knight is through these frenzy ores, which is a really difficult ore to mine. It has like 15,000 health and you need level 150 mining to mine it. But anyways, as you guys can see on screen, as soon as you summon the knight with this ore, he will spawn in. He has a pretty cool animation, and it is a relatively difficult fight. I wouldn't recommend doing this alone, especially if you don't have any of the new gear. But anyways, this is a very cool fight because he's going to be dropping a lot of the materials that you need in order to craft this new amazing Rotten Knight gear set. So already that's a very big W for this update, because one problem with this game is a lot of updates will add gear that isn't necessarily better but just really hard to get. Now it isn't only the Rotten Knight gear set, there's also the Hawkeye gear set. Here's the Hawkeye pants, there's also the Hawkeye cloak, and the Hawkeye hat. So he does drop a couple of weapons as well, I just do not have them. One of them is the Master Sword, which is basically the new best weapon in the game. Anyways, here is the Hawkeye boss. So this guy is just like your classic seasonal boss. He's a very difficult one too, because he will literally teleport to you, and it is a little annoying because if you're not ready, he's gonna absolutely murk you. But anyways, he is one of the fights that I recommend you do with a couple of people. He's gonna spawn in the first day of fall at around 12 o'clock. So you do have to be very careful when fighting this guy. But he does have some of the new best drops in the game. I mean, the armor I showed you guys is absolutely crazy. I do think that the Rotten Knight leg plates, the Rotten Knight gear, might be a little bit better overall, but the Hawkeye gear seems to be the one that's giving a lot of mana with good health versus a lot of health with good mana. Now there is one more seasonal boss. This one is going to be spawning on the massive floating island, the Heaven Gate Island. You can get there by either flying up to it or going to this massive blue portal thingy I'm showing you here. Anyways, on the first day of spring at around 7 o'clock, this guy will spawn in, the Lightning Man. I don't remember his name, I'm just calling him the Lightning Dude. Anyways, he drops the Lightning Rod and the Tacato Drums, which I'm definitely saying wrong. But these are two very powerful items when combined together with the Lightning Magic, which he can also drop. This gives you some very powerful and very good new DPS moves. Awesome gear set. I definitely recommend you go for these weapons. And what's nice about this update is there's just a lot of meta changes, so a lot of like the things that used to be the best aren't necessarily the best anymore. So another very big change is dashes now require stamina, and using a dash from magic will drain your stamina. And it didn't used to do that. That's why I'm using the Esper dash right now, because the Esper dash actually uses mana instead of stamina, which is very nice because it's a lot easier to get a lot of mana than it is to get a lot of stamina. Something else that they added, which is very cool, is this new flame boat, which is going to help you get around a lot faster. But let's just explore and show off the world a little bit. This new area is really cool because it's just absolutely massive, and there's definitely a lot to explore. Now, one thing that is a little bit annoying about this is when you are journeying through the sea, just minding your own business, there is a chance for a sea king to come in and attack you and jump you, and these guys are incredibly annoying. There's one, there he is right now. So these guys are going to attack you all the time while you're at sea, and they don't really drop anything that great. They do drop a couple of artifacts. You can get water artifacts from them. I've gotten wind artifacts, and they also just drop lots and lots of various different ores that are needed for crafting a lot of the new things. But you will be fighting a lot of these sea kings. They spawn in all the time, and they are a little bit annoying because you don't necessarily always want to fight them, but they drop all kinds of sea stones and random fish and things like that. Another major change with this update, it's a little bit of a weird one. Chests in the new world actually have a chance to be a mimic. And when I say a chance, I mean more like they're almost always a mimic. It's very rare to actually get a real chest. It's kind of funny. But these mimics, what they will do is just attack you, and they have a chance to drop all sorts of kinds of gear. You can get a couple of artifacts from them. You can get the new gum artifact, and it is a very, very good artifact. Here's what some of the moves look like. I don't have it yet, unfortunately, but definitely look out for that. That's why a lot of the people are farming a lot of treasure chests. And I will also say, when you find a treasure chest, I'd recommend actually attacking it first instead of trying to open it. Because if you try to open it and it ends up being a mimic instead, he's going to pick you up and then attack you and kill you. So what I want to show off now is what I think is pretty much the coolest area that's been added to this update. It's the Flower Village, Flower City area, whatever you want to call it. It is this massive, massive island that actually has a water cycle. Sometimes the water is higher. If it's lower, then you can access some of the rare ores to mine. But anyways, this area is really, really cool. This is where you're gonna be finding a lot of the new mobs, and it is just overall very, very well done. Very, very massive. Very, very cool as well. And that is pretty much everything that has been added in this game recently. I know I moved through everything very fast and didn't really go into great detail. Let me know down below what guides you guys want to see on this game this week. I do want to make a video going over the new best gear setup. I just got to get to level 150 first so I can actually use it. And I can also make a video going over the best magics and all of that good stuff. Just let me know down below what kind of guides you guys would want to see. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching my video. This new update is absolutely fantastic. Make sure you check it out. And I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye.